Bandai Namco, if you're watching, just release it Christmas Eve. Let's see how many, copies sell, and we can, use that for information going forward. Why, hello there. It is 106 days until Elden Ring comes out on January 21st, 2022, and this is the Elden Wait. On today's special episode of the Elden Wait, we have a couple pieces of news I wanted to share with you. The first is that Elden Ring has been raided in South Korea, and the second is that a senior vice president of Bandai Namco spoke about Elden Ring in an interview that released today. Let's get into it. So Elden Ring has been raided in South Korea by the Game Rating and Administrative Committee, or GRAC, and this is the equivalent of like PEGI or ESRB. Elden Ring has received an 18+ rating by the GRAC for violence, and this is exactly the same as the Dark Souls games, Sekiro and Bloodborne. So this is good news regarding the development of the game, but I do want to stress this doesn't guarantee like the game is totally finished or anything. The rating process is done primarily by looking at video of representative gameplay, and then it is looked at from there. It means that the game is in a state where Bandai Namco felt that they could put it out for a rating, but that it doesn't mean that there isn't polishing and other stuff that is still being done on the game. As long as the scope does not change the representative gameplay shown, it is okay to continue developing. As an anecdote, Tales of Arise, which released in September 2021, was rated by Korea in January of 2020. I don't think anything like this will happen with Elden Ring, but I just want to provide it as an anecdote to show that it doesn't mean a game is totally done just because it was rated. That being said, it is not bad news for development, so I will take it. And with that, let's go on to the games industry interview. So a games industry article came out today talking about Bandai Namco and their presence in the West, and this was featuring Bamco Europe Senior Vice President Hervé Hort. And the article is about how they've been increasing their Western audience, and they've been, working with Western developers and acquiring Western studios, and their plans for the future, and they mention Dark Souls and Elden Ring over the course of this interview. Now, Dark Souls and Elden Ring are not part of Western acquisitions, and it's not part of the Western catalog, but it is very popular in the West, which is why it came up. And in the interview, the vice president says that Dark Souls went from a niche title to something that is basically mainstream in its popularity. And then regarding Elden Ring, he says, and the idea for Elden Ring is to bring an even bigger audience. It is super big for us. It is super big for From Software. We are working very closely with Japan. We have 3 people dedicated to the franchise over here across Europe. And the article goes on to clarify that this is the first time that Bandai Namco Europe has dedicated 3 marketing people entirely to one game. And regarding the release date, he says, we've gone in January in the past, and we've seen it work for us. I feel more confident in January than publishing at Christmas, or at the end of the fiscal year in March, when everyone is trying to push product. I wouldn't go early January, post-Christmas, and post-New Year, but end of January is fine. And when you have the right game, like Elden Ring, people would buy it on Christmas Eve. And I say let's put that to the test. Bandai Namco, if you're watching, just release it Christmas Eve. Let's see how many, copies sell, and we can, use that for information going forward. So this is all very good news, and I'm very happy to hear this because I'm by no means a marketing expert, but I do like to follow the marketing as the pre-release information for these games, and I'm just very curious in how publishers like to represent their games. And this energy in the interview is the energy I thought Bandai Namco would have with Elden Ring, about it being this important title, working with a famous author, and I just think that we've seen prestige marketing in how they've designed the trailers, talking about George R. R. Martin and Miyazaki coming together as these like auteurs, but I still haven't seen the energy in the actual marketing campaign itself. And maybe they're doing a final push at the end, but I'm still very curious to see if they will really bring this energy to the actual marketing campaign. And if they are, I think October this month is gotta be the time for it. But of course, I could be wrong. It just feels like November is kind of late, and you want to start making that push by November. So you want to start doing it in October. We'll see how it pans out, But this interview did give me some more confidence that they do view this as this prestige, big global title, and I can't wait to see if they actually market it that way at some point. So that's the news for today. Overall, these bits of news are encouraging, especially when coupled with Catal's TGS interview from last week, where he was very confident in the game releasing in January, and overall just is heartening to see as we close in on 100 days until Elden Ring comes out. So we will see what happens tomorrow when Elden Ring does their weekly tweet, if it's another piece of fan art, basically where I'm setting my expectations, or if they start to do more. They only have 4 Fridays left in October to get it rolling. But you can bet that when information does come out for Elden Ring, I will be on top of it, making videos, taking a look, providing my opinions, and my experience following these games. And you can check it out here on The Lore Hunter, so consider subscribing if you'd like to keep up to date. And if you've learned something new in this video, consider giving it a like. It is all super helpful and I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.